In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the alternator on this Chevy Equinox. This is located on the front of your engine. Let's get started. Disconnecting the battery for this job is a must, so let's start with that. Battery's located behind your driver's side headlight. That's the negative terminal right there. Peel up this cover if your vehicle has it, and you'll see that with the 10mm mounting nut loosened up, you should be able to pull this terminal off. You don't need to remove that, just loosen it like I said. Then you can grab the terminal. Sometimes it gets a little stuck here, but wiggle it and pull upwards. There it is, set that aside. Make sure it doesn't bounce and make connection on the negative battery terminal. Let's remove the engine cover. To do that, we're gonna have to remove the oil filler cap and a little bolt right here. Start with the bolt. It's a T30 Torx bolt right down here. If there's a lot of debris around the filler cap, blow it off or clean it with a rag or something. That way when you remove this, it doesn't fall into the engine. And then pull up. It should pop off of a couple different rubber grommets that it's secured on. Set it aside. And it looks like we have some cleanup to do, but I will put the oil filler cap right back on. That way no debris can get inside the engine at this point. We'll need access in the passenger side wheel well to remove this shield so we can get the belt off of the alternator. You do not have to remove the wheel for this. You have plenty of access if you just turn the wheels all the way to the right, but if you want to remove it, you can. There are 3 push clips holding on this shield. A lot of times these get stuck, so just work them back and forth if needed and remove them. If they break, you'll have to replace them so that the shield can be held on properly at the end. The third one is going to be all the way down here. Remove the push clips and remove the shield. Following the belt up right above the harmonic balancer, you'll see the tensioner right here. It takes a 1/2-inch drive, so if you have a 1/2-inch drive ratchet, especially one that swivels on the head like this one, that's going to be ideal because you won't be able to get much else in there unless you have a particular serpentine belt removal tool that fits. Pull to the left, that's going to remove tension off the belt, and you can slide it off of any pulley that you can reach. I'm going to take it off the crank because it's the easiest. There we go. Remove your tool. Take the belt off the alternator, which is all the way up there. You don't have to remove it completely. You can if you want to. I'm just going to let it hang over here. There we go. That gives us plenty of space to work. Looking further up, you'll see the idler pulley is attached with a long bolt that actually goes through the alternator. On the back side of it, we're gonna have to loosen this up. You can't remove this yet. You're gonna have to remove it later, but we have to break it free at least and get the bolt most of the way out. I'm gonna sneak in a low profile ratchet with a shallow 15mm socket. That's gonna get it broken free just because this is long and I have some leverage. After that, I'm gonna have to either do it by hand or with a wrench. I can't really go very far before I get my ratchet completely stuck in here. That's as far as I'm gonna go. I broke it free. And I'm gonna stick a ratcheting wrench in here to get this bolt out. You can actually also reach this bolt through the front. There is no shield, so there should be a little opening, just enough for you to reach about as much as you could reach from the back side here, but a little bit easier. Careful not to get your tool stuck in there. All right, this is loose, but like I said, we can't take it out yet. Now from the top, reach down by the oil dipstick. Let's unplug the 2 wires on the alternator. One is this one at the front, a 2-wire plug that is clipped on with this locking clip. There we go, it finally let go. A lot of times these are stuck. You have to just push on that. Set the wiring aside. And this is the main power wire, which is bolted on with a 13mm bolt. So pull this boot back. It's gonna have to stay out of our way. And then use a socket or a wrench to unbolt that. There we go. Once you break it free, it actually should come off by hand. Take this off, and since we disconnected the battery already, this is safe to just sit over here. This has constant power to it, so that's why it's important to disconnect the battery. Right over here, there's a 10mm bolt holding on the oil dipstick tube. I'm going to unbolt it because the alternator is going to slide up and out through here. And if we can move this just a little bit, I'm not removing the dipstick tube, but I'm just moving it. This will give us a lot more space to work with. 10mm socket, loosen up this bolt. Take this out. And now this gives us a little bit of movement, which is exactly what we need. I'm going to use a 15mm wrench to break free the mounting nut on the stud of the alternator. Sometimes this will actually take the stud out with it. It's not necessarily a bad thing since this stud has to come out. If you can just remove the mounting nut, that would be ideal. There it is. I'm going to use an E8 inverted Torx bit to remove the stud. Sometimes they seize up in here, so spray some rust penetrant if that's the case for you. For me, it's coming out no problem. Take this out. Now with the same 15mm wrench, I'm going to break free, loosen up, and remove the bolt that's on that side. The alternator is moving, which is great. Try and support it while you remove this bolt completely. There it is. Remove the bolt just so it's out of your way. Now we're going to have to tilt the alternator on its side a little bit so we can remove this idler pulley with the bolt. Watch out because there's also a spacer here that has to come with it. Set that aside, and of course this is a good time to replace it if needed. And now we'll have to pull the alternator straight up through here. This AC line is, the hose can be moved, so can the dipstick tube. I'm going to take this out just so I don't break it by accident. Try not to get debris inside the dipstick tube though. Okay, there's the alternator. And now if you had your new alternator, you'd take it and put it right back in the same way it came out. Careful of that oil dipstick tube. Move it out of the way. Just get it to slide past the AC line here. There we go. As you put it down there, make sure you flip it the right way because it's going to be a little difficult to turn it around if you accidentally slide it down the wrong way. There we go. Don't position the alternator completely in its spot because don't forget you have this idler pulley with the bolt to slide on the end here, right in there. And now comes the somewhat difficult part of lining this up. It's mostly difficult because you can't see where that bolt is going. I got that bolt started, so I'm going to put in the two studs up here now so that this can line up. Then I'll start tightening things down. I'm going to try to put this bolt in. It's going to be somewhat tricky to get it to line up and thread in while you hold the alternator, but definitely doable. Looks like I got it. If you hold the alternator in just the right spot, it won't put pressure on the bolt and it'll make it so that you can spin it by hand. I'm going to thread it in a little bit more just so it can be further in before I install the stud. Alright, I'm not going to tighten it fully. That way I can install the stud and move around the alternator a little bit if needed, which is probably needed to get this to line up properly. And right there, that just caught onto the threads, perfect. So take that E8 inverted Torx socket. The trick here is when you tighten this stud, you just have to snug it up because when you install the mounting nut and tighten it on this end, it'll actually pull or put pressure on both ends of the stud and automatically tightens both ends. So just get this thing snug. There we go, that's nice and snug. Once the stud is attached, slide on the nut and thread it on all the way. Grab that 15mm wrench or socket and we'll snug it up. Unfortunately, I can't torque this because of the location, so I'm just going to do my best and tighten it up. There we go, that's tight. The torque on this bolt and the mounting nut on the stud is only 37 foot-pounds. So just like me, if you have a torque wrench that does not fit in there, do your best to make it nice and tight. Once again, 37 foot-pounds should be the torque for this. I have a long ratchet that I'm going to use to just put a little bit of pressure into it. About 1/8 of a turn after it bottoms out and gets snug is plenty tight for this. Let's finish our job up here before we move down to the wheel well area. Reconnect the main power wire for the alternator and make sure that it lines up with the cutout on the plastic. Otherwise the ring terminal won't line up and bottom out. And then reinstall the mounting nut. Get this bottomed out. Make sure that boot stays out of your way. And use your 13mm socket to snug up the stud on this. When you tighten these, you just want to give them a little snug. Otherwise it can actually damage the stud internally in the alternator. So this is bottomed out and snugged. Just give it a little bit extra, and that's it. Put this boot over. This protects debris and water from getting in here and corroding the connection. And of course, we just had this other connector, 2-wire connector over here. Make sure that clicks. And if you took your dipstick out, put it back in. And of course, don't forget to bolt it back onto the engine so it doesn't move around. Start that bolt by hand so it doesn't cross thread, and use your 10mm socket to bottom it out completely. That's bottomed out. Give it 1/8 of a turn and that's plenty tight. Remove the oil filler cap carefully and put the engine cover back on. And you want to make sure it lines up with all of the rubber grommets that it slides in with. There we go. Put the oil filler cap back on, and let's put the T30 Torx bolt back in. Just snug, that's all you need to do. Let's tighten up this idler pulley / alternator support bolt. All right, that's bottomed out. Snug it up. The torque on this is 43 foot-pounds, but unfortunately I cannot get a torque wrench in there, so I'm going to grab my long ratchet and give it a good snug after it's bottomed out. There we go, that's tight. Let's get the belt back on the pulleys. And I didn't take it off of the power steering pump, which is all the way at the back. It's still on, as well as on the water pump and on the tensioner. But I do have to route it back over the alternator, of course, and over the AC compressor, over the idler, and over the harmonic balancer. I'm going to put it over this idler, make sure it's positioned where it needs to be. Everywhere else, just get it ready to go basically. It's around the alternator, it's around the AC compressor, perfect. All right, that's seated. It's around the tensioner, it's around the water pump and the power steering pump pulley in the back there. I'm going to get my 1/2-inch drive ratchet, slide it into the tensioner, pull tension off of it, slide the belt over. All right, now before you let go of this, double check it and make sure it didn't fall off of any pulleys. It feels all right around the AC compressor, perfect around the alternator. Gotta adjust it a little on the tensioner. It's good here, it's good there. That's good, everything's all right. So take this out, inspect it one last time, because if it's off even just one rib on the belt, it's gonna shred itself and possibly jump off the pulleys when you start the vehicle. Let's reinstall this shield, line it up with the mounting holes, get the push clips in, and if your push clips broke, replace them. That way this shield doesn't get caught in the wheel. Make sure it's properly secured. All 3 are in. And if you removed your wheel, you would put it back at this point. The torque for the wheel is 140 foot-pounds. Take that negative battery terminal, slide it over the negative battery post. It might make a little spark. Don't be scared though. Press it on. Once this is bottomed out all the way, you know, because the post of the battery will be flush with the battery terminal. Take that 10mm socket and snug up the mounting nut. That'll clamp this terminal on. There we go. You don't have to completely crush it, just snug it. If you can't move this by hand, that's plenty tight. At this point, cover it back up if yours still has the cover. And there you have it, job is done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. the only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.